On January 21st, we had the new moon in Capricorn. This is a 30-day cycle related to the themes of Capricorn, which are about putting into practice the things that inspire us so that we can build a meaningful life and grow through time and eventually make peace with our time here on Earth. Those are attributes of Saturn, the ruler, as well as the earth element and the internal reflective feminine quality, and even the tamasic guna that wants to be safe and protected and is willing to work hard and suffer in order to grow. This also happened in the nakshatra of Uttara Ashada, which bridges the signs of Sagittarius and Capricorn. So this is where we take all of that inspiration of Sagittarius and then apply it in a practical way so that we have a long-term victory. And the word Uttara Ashada means guaranteed victory. And so our victory is guaranteed once we take those teachings out of the ethers and bring them into the realm of daily effort and practical, concentrated action. We just had a 30-day cycle end with this new moon in Capricorn. The Sagittarius cycle ended, which was really 30 days of questioning our own intellect and the things that we think we know that we've already figured out and the stories we have in our head. Instead, finding new inspiration and purpose and meaning and hope, maybe new teachers, understanding our teachings in a better way, putting those teachings into practice is now what we're going to be doing with the new moon in Capricorn. So for the next 30 days, it's going to be taking those teachings out of the ethers and putting them into practice. In many ways, the sign of Capricorn is one of the most misunderstood because it's ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is given this sort of bad guy reputation of, oh, this stuff doesn't feel good, and things feel heavy, and, there's guilt and fear and shame and worry and stress. But these are all things that also teach us great lessons in life. One of the reasons why you don't keep making the same dumb mistakes is because our ignorance teaches us through our painful mistakes, and Saturn is doing that too. It's not just when people are mean to you and then you remember and then you don't like them and you want to avoid them. That's part of it because that could be dangerous. But it's also and it should be how the pain of your own mistakes weighs on your heart and makes you feel shame and guilt, and that makes you do better because you don't want to feel that way. And again, we see this a lot in our interactions with other people, where we're not going to just act like a total fool because we don't want to embarrass ourselves, shame ourselves, and then have people not like us, and then we feel disconnected from others. These are all the qualities of Saturn, at least in one sense. That sense of separation that we feel from others and literally from our life on Earth is felt in Saturn's nature, and then through Capricorn and then Aquarius we experience those things emotionally. And in Capricorn it becomes quite like an emotional thing where we feel that we're separate from others, where we're not flowing in one love harmony, which is the qualities of Cancer. Instead we feel separate, we are afraid that we're not going to survive, and all of this pressure can come into our mind. But what that does is it gives us also the power and the ability to concentrate and to overcome our fears, because the truth of the matter is you're not just a physical, emotional being. That's the densest level of existence for you. You're actually a transcendent spiritual being, which literally is not from here in totality. Your karma has brought you here so that you can experience these limitations and then transcend the attachment to the pain and the fear and the stress and the worry. And so again, what facing all of those Saturn issues does for us is make us grow up around these immature notions that we have, these immature notions of, well, I want everything to feel good and I always want to be happy, and trying to make this ego and this separate existence work out, because it's not going to. And we know it's not going to, and we can either choose to remain childish about that and then just get mad at everybody and blame everybody who hurts us. You hurt me, now I'm sad and it was your fault. And again, instead of examining the source of this confusion, because we're obviously ignorant and confused around these themes because we don't really know. We're doing the same thing to other people that they're doing to us and whatnot. So Saturn brings maturity around this whole process of time, and how, there's a thing that says time heals all wounds. It does, because over time we get more distance from that thing and we're not as emotional to it, and we can see things with a more objective state of mind. That's what Saturn is really about. So through the sign of Capricorn, this becomes a very psychological, emotional thing, internal, and a practical thing more than anything, because Saturn is because Capricorn is an earth sign. So we take those teachings from Sagittarius, and that sort of persona, or that psychology of Saturn, which says, okay, now don't waste time. Apply this thing, put it into practice, do it, make a result out of it. And this leads to things like long-term spiritual practices, where a person doesn't just believe something because it feels good to believe it and to have a belief, because it's better to have some kind of religion or some kind of belief than to have none. That's not good enough. I want it to impact my life, and I want to put it into practice, and I want to build a world based on that, and build my world based on those great teachings. That's really the greatness of Capricorn. And it actually, the word in Sanskrit is makara, which means crocodile. That's the easiest term. It can also mean a serpent like a kind of sea monster or something, but crocodile is, I think, the best for it. And one of the interesting things about the crocodile is that when you look at the feet, it's actually a quadruped in the front, which is a four-legged animal, and a fish in the back with a tail. And so it means that in many ways the Capricorn, it is an earth sign, and the four legs that are walking on the earth are very stable. But when you see a crocodile on land, it can't move very fast. It's sort of clumsy on land. But when it gets in the water, that big tail allows it to move through the water very gracefully. But again, it doesn't live in the water. It has to breathe air. So it's a complicated animal, but its power comes from being in the water. And so what this means is that we need to go into the heart in Capricorn and not be afraid to examine and to sit with our feelings, emotions, and to go deeper than those feelings and emotions into something that is devotional. So Capricorn is one of the most devotional signs once they can get over this fear. And so again, this is a lesson for all of us of the next 30 days, is to notice how you're emotionally immature. And even if you practice spirituality or you have different beliefs and whatnot, underneath it all, there's part of you that just wants to be happy, doesn't like that the world is so cruel, avoid all the things that are, oh, this is going to make me sad. Great beings don't do that. They go through life and they know that stuff's going to make them unhappy. It's not going to make them, feel good and connected all the time. But they know that this is the right thing to do. And, the great yogi exists aside from all of these emotional fluctuations and goes through life with courage, especially courage to face our own fears and our own lack of control. So this is where Capricorn can be a bit difficult, is this controlling type of behavior that we can get into. Because when we're afraid of losing something or someone that we think is valuable, we try to control it. We can get into this kind of strategizing about people and things. It's good to strategize about your business and things that you want to produce, but not with people. Don't control people. Don't strategize with people. Be honest with people. Be real. Be devoted to the light in them, just like the light in you. Don't treat people like you treat situations, or like you treat objects or things that you want to accomplish. A person is not something you should try to accomplish or conquer or dominate. Again, these are things where we need to be careful in Capricorn because of our fears. Now, the nakshatra is Uttara Ashada, like I said, which means later victory. And it's how our later victories are guaranteed based on the universal principles, what are called the Vishwadevas, the universal gods. And these Vishwadevas include karma, which is action, kala, which is time, dharma, which is truth, kama, which is desire. All of these things, when we bring these things into existence and into play, and find the things that we're going to, keep working hard on because we love it, because it's our heart's desire, and it's connected to the truth, then our victory is guaranteed. The more you're in alignment with those real, true things of your nature, then the more the result is that is going to play out. And it happens whether it's something you want or not. So what this principle means is that whatever it is that you're concentrating on and doing a lot, whatever your heart's desire is and passion at that moment, that's the thing that you're going to concentrate on, work hard on, and what you're going to produce in your life. So this is really a process of manifestation. The things that inspire us, we work hard and concentrate on and produce. So this is why it's so important to have good teachings, and why last month the transit through Sagittarius was so important for you to get clear about what inspires you. And now, if it's authentic and it's in alignment with your heart's desire and the truth, and then you commit to it through time and put your actions on that thing that inspires you, that's what you're going to produce. So this is how that transition from Sagittarius to Capricorn plays out. And many people are inspired by things just because they're afraid of not believing something, or they believe things that aren't really true, or believe things they don't understand. So then their commitment to it and their effort toward it is just as confused. It's important to get good teachings that you understand and that you're devoted to, and then do it. Do it full on. That produces a guaranteed victory. So this is a very powerful place in the zodiac, as you can imagine. This is also the first day of the Chinese New Year of the rabbit. So it's the year of the rabbit. It's a water rabbit. And so that's an interesting take. The water rabbits are, well, rabbits in general are said to be the most, sensitive of the Chinese zodiac animals. And so the water rabbit is even more kind of sensitive. So, I don't do a lot of work in this realm, but I like the idea that we're going into a year where there's a greater sensitivity to each other, a greater awareness. You can see a rabbit isn't out to hurt anybody, so just in general, the symbol feels pretty good. So we'll take that one as well. For a limited time, I'm offering 10 hours of masterclasses, Yoga and Vedic Astrology, Quantum Vedic Astrology, and Spiritual Astrology Masterclass. These are 3 great courses that will really help you a lot. Now, in case you don't know who I am, I taught the Astroved certification course, Dattatreya Shiva Baba, in 2010. Ravi Shankar published my book in 2018. I've been around for decades. I've been teaching these great classes, and if you go to VedicAstrologyEssentials.com, you can get this 90% off discount of these 3 great classes, more than 10 hours, guaranteed value. You can check this out. These 3 classes will give you all the necessary tools to begin to learn Vedic astrology. Please find me on YouTube at Sam Jeppy, Vedic Astrology Teacher. On there since 2007, thousands of hours of classes. Also on Facebook at Astrology Teacher, tons of articles updated regularly, and I'm on Instagram at Vedic Astrology 108, ongoing updates and interaction.